Grandmaster Divya Deshmukh is making her way to the game with her mother, and this is going to be a super crucial round for her. She is on 4.5 out of 8, and she is in the lead jointly with her opponent R. Vaishali. There are in fact 5 players in the women's section who are in the lead with 4.5 points. But what a clash this is! You're playing in the ninth round of the FIDE candidates in Cyprus, and 2 Indian flags there, waving themselves, showing themselves proudly as two amazing players of Indian chess sit down to fight for the big title here. There are 5 more rounds to go, but it's quite possible that one of them could triumph. Divya and Vaishali shake hands, and this, dear friends, is the Lotus Chess game of the day.
आउट ऑफ इंडिया
Now,
गया.
Lotus Chess is an app where you can improve your chess by going through their tutorials. If you look at the bottom of the screen, they have openings, end games, and middle games. Openings has a special focus here because you can learn the openings that are actually to your liking. The training adapts to you, and so you can download the app from the link in the description. It's available for both Android and iOS. Knight comes out to f3, and Vaishali, in the first encounter between Vaishali and Divya, it was Vaishali who was very close to being lost. And then you must remember that amazing queen sacrifice, queen takes h3, that happened. Knight to f6, bishop comes out to b2, and now pawn to e6 played by Divya, a very solid way to play this position. Pawn comes up to c4, striking in the center. Bishop comes out to d6, and Vaishali tries to double fianchetto her bishop on g2. Black castles, and white plays bishop to g2, and now pawn comes up to c6. White has the double fianchetto. Black is slightly passive with the bishop on c8, but she's quietly developing her pieces. Hopefully, Divya feels that she can get her bishop out from b6, bishop b7. d4 played here by Vaishali. And now a5 is a very normal move, trying for a4, and she plays it. a5 on the board. Vaishali brings her knight out to c3, so that if a4, she can simply chop off the pawn. And Divya now plays knight to e4. Vaishali is still in her prep. She has 1 hour 31 minutes, and now with 12 minutes of thought, she takes on e4, pawn takes, and you can come back to d2 or go to e5. Knight to e5 played. The knight is well positioned in the center. f5 played to protect the pawn on e4, and white plays f4. Not the best move, maybe f3 was better, but now Divya can simply play takes. If d takes e5, bishop c5 followed by b5, bishop a6 is good for her. And if f e5, then simply bishop e7 again with b5, bishop a6 is good for her. But turns out that she plays knight to f6. This is not the best move, but it's pretty okay. The position is still roundabout even. Pawn comes up to e3, defending the center. And now queen e8. Divya tries to defend the pawn on c6 and wants to play the move b5. h3 played to stop any knight jumps to g4. One thing that is working in Divya's favor is the bishop on g2 is completely blocked. So b5 played here. The c6 pawn is a bit weak, but rook f2, I love this move. Vaishali planning to switch her rook to the c file. Bishop comes out to a6, putting pressure on the c4 point. And now rook c1, a good move. Vaishali playing simple chess but putting so much pressure on Divya. Now pawn takes pawn. And now if you take knight takes, then bishop e7 and black is better because knight comes to d5. So pawn takes is a must. Takes it, pawn takes. And knight d7, a mistake. Because she's missed that after knight takes, knight b6, d5, takes. Yeah, Vaishali takes it. I think Divya wanted knight b6, d5, knight c4, but has missed that after takes, queen d4, it's a double attack. And so she has to play rook c8, but now after d5, Vaishali is completely winning. She's better, queen d4, ooh, attacks g7. Now rook f7 is a good way to defend this pawn. She goes rook to f6. Slightly unusual move there. But rook to d2 played. And Vaishali is ready to sacrifice material if the knight comes to d3. Now attacking the pawn on g3. And Vaishali calmly defends it with king h2. White has all the pieces into the game except the bishop on g2. The knight finally jumps into d3, but this knight has to be eliminated. It's attacking these two key pieces and you can't let it live there. So Vaishali thinks for a bit and chops off the knight. Pawn takes d3 and now c5 is a very powerful move. Yes, she finds it. Pawn to c5, attacking the bishop. And now the bishop, well, she takes on c6. Because if bishop f8 then d6 with this bishop opening up is just monstrous. Takes on c6, bishop c7. And just look at the quality of the pieces. White pieces are simply dominating. Queen d7, a beautiful move by Vaishali. Can't take. Queen b8 played, attacking the bishop on b2. And bishop e5, lovely move. Now the thing is, if you take here and if you take back, then maybe it's okay. So she takes, but there is an insane rook sacrifice that Vaishali can play and she finds it. Rook b1, what a move. If queen takes b1, queen e8 is mate. So Divya has to move away the queen. And now Vaishali calmly chops off the bishop on e5. She has a dominant position on the board and none of the black pieces know what exactly they are doing. Queen d6, offering a trade of queens. If the queen is traded, that's over. So queen f7 played by Divya. And now Vaishali, she has many different ways to win, but rook b7 is a beautiful move. Attacking the queen, and if bishop takes b7, c takes b7, and the pawn would queen. Divya resigns. Vaishali scores an emphatic win here with some brilliant moves. She beats Divya in 31 moves, and very nice to see that Divya actually smiling and says knight d7. I simply blundered there. I didn't see this entire knight b6 and c4 pawn hanging. So not particularly a great game for Divya. But she is 1 point behind the leaders, while Vaishali now in the lead along with Zhu Jinner on 5.5 out of 9. Can Vaishali keep up her momentum and become the champion here? Let's hope she does that.